Hi everyone! So today for math we are going to be beginning lesson 1.10 and this lesson is titled Numerical Expressions. So last time we met, we discussed how we can take apart word problems and really decipher what they're telling us. Are they asking us to multiply? Are they asking us to divide? And today we're going to be looking at all of our orders of operation, including multiplication, addition, subtraction, and division. And we're going to be looking at something called a numerical expression. And a numerical expression is really simple. All it is an expression using numbers and words. But, and this is important, but it does not have an equal sign. Okay, does not have an equal sign. Okay, so today we are going to be looking at these numerical expressions and figuring out what tools we can use to solve them. So I have drawn up this chart for you, and this chart is really going to help us when we are looking at our expressions, our numerical expressions, to look for some really important keywords. So I have titled this Operation Clue Words. So just like a detective would solve a mystery and look for evidence, you guys are going to be looking really closely at your expressions to figure out what they're asking you to solve and how they're asking you to solve the problem. So in order to do that, you need to know some keywords. So, really helpful hint. If they're asking you to do addition or add, you're going to see some of these words in the problem. You're going to see the word sum. You may see the word plus. And make sure you are writing these down in your notebook. You might see in all, total, and increased, together, or join. Now you might not see all of these words, but these words, if you see them in your head, you want to automatically trick your brain to say, okay, this is addition. So if I said that Laith bought 9 apples plus 3 more apples, I would know that I need to do some addition because I hear that word plus. Okay? Now, if I said Alan was playing basketball and asked 2 other students to join him, how many students were playing all together, I would also know that I need to do some addition. Now, for our subtraction, some of the words that you might see for subtraction are going to be words like difference, and you should be copying this chart down in your notes as well. Less, remain, lost, take away, and minus. So all of these words here are going to be words that are going to clue you in your brain that we are doing a subtraction problem. For example, if I said that Mrs. LeClaire found 10 seashells, but she lost 3 seashells, I would know that this is a subtraction problem. And in my head, I know that I need to start doing some subtraction. Now, moving on to multiplication. Multiplication, there's some words, some clue words as well. Some words that you might see in a multiplication problem are times, each, multiply, and product. Now, don't worry if you can't see all of these in the video up close and personal to spell everything. Just listen and try to spell them the best as you can. Now, another one that we might hear for this multiplication is what's really common is if we hear each. So, for example, Mrs. LeClaire bought 4 pairs of glasses. Each pair of glasses costs $10. I would know that I need to multiply those two numbers together. So that would be my clue, each. That would tell me to multiply them. And last but not least, if I am doing division, I might see some words such as share, split. This is another one, shared equally. Okay, and down here, I'm going to write divided. Okay, so all of these words here are going to trigger our brain to tell us, I must be doing division. So, for example, if I said that, who can I pick on? Jaime had 14 pencils, and he wanted to share them with Kayla Thomas equally. How many would each person get? And that would tell me that that is a division problem. So really, this is really important for us to understand, because knowing these words and knowing when we see them and training our brains that as soon as we see them in a numerical expression, we know the order of operation. We know what we need to do. We know what operation comes next. Okay? Okay, so let's try this one together. Remember, numerical expressions do not have an equal sign. Listen as I read the problem. Ella collected 16 seashells. She lost 4 of them while walking. So our directions tell us to write an expression to match the words. So I would simply take the number of seashells she collected, which is 16. And if I look back on my chart, I know that lost is another word that's going to help indicate that it is subtraction. So I need to write a subtraction sign and the number that she lost. And it says here that she lost 4 of them. So I would have -4. And this is my expression right here. I do not write an equal sign. Do not write an equal sign. It is not an equation, it is a numerical expression. And remember, just like we had talked about, expressions do not have equal signs. Okay. So also when we're working with numerical expressions, we also need to remember our order of operations. And our order of operations is the order in which that we solve a problem. So in your notes, I want everyone to write order of operations. Okay? And this will always stay the same. This order that you see here is exactly the order that you will follow every time that you solve a problem. So the first thing you need to do is look for parentheses. If you don't have parentheses, you move on to exponents, then multiplication, division, addition, and subtraction. Now let's say I don't have exponents or parentheses in my problem. I would go straight to multiplication. Now if I don't have division but I have addition, I would move from multiplication to addition. Remembering this is incredibly important. Remember, we've learned this before. Please excuse my dear Aunt Sally. Okay, and this is going to help you remember the order of operations. Okay, so for example, if I wanted to write the words to solve this problem, I would first look at what do I need to do first. Well, looking at my please excuse my dear Aunt Sally over here, I can see that I don't have any parentheses, so I can skip that. Don't have any exponents. Aha, I do have some multiplication, so I need to do the multiplication first. So I need to think in my head, I need to think 4 times 12, okay? Or 4, if I want to erase this, I can say 4
multiplied by 12. Whoops. By 12. Okay? Either one of this is fine, multiplied or times. So that's first. So I can solve that first. 12 times 4. I know 4 times 2 is 8, and I know 4 times 1 is 4. So I know that this is going to be 48. Now, my next step, looking back to this, please excuse my dear Aunt Sally, did my multiplication. Do I have any division? Nope. So I move on to addition. Now this is telling me right here, this is telling me plus 3. So now I need to do 48 plus 3, which is going to give me 51. Okay, and that's my answer. Now, if I just wanted to use words to solve this problem, I would write 4 times 12 plus 3. Okay, and that would be my words to describe this problem up here. All right, so that is it for this week's lesson. I hope you enjoy it. Now remember, this please excuse my dear Aunt Sally is incredibly important. So make sure you have that in your notes and that you're ready to reference that as needed.